this is your year.
Pillow Talk!
Hey guys, welcome back to Pillow Talk Monday. We talked about our favorite, absolute best relationship goal couples in movies and TV shows. And now it only made sense to follow it up with the worst.
It's more fun to talk about the worst lesbian couples.
So before we get into the list, we want to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring this week's video.
We're going to be talking about a lot of couples that, you know what, they could have benefited from maybe some couples therapy, couples counseling.
Mm-hmm. It's 2022, so it's a new year, new you. Time to set some mental health goals. So one of our mental health goals for 2022 was to check in with licensed professional therapists the same way you would check in on your physical health.
And one of the best ways to follow through on healthy mental health habits is by working with a licensed therapist.
With BetterHelp, you can access their network of over 20,000 licensed therapists.
And it's not a crisis line, it's not self-help, it's professional therapy done securely online.
BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist.
And you can start chatting with your therapist within 48 hours, which is much quicker than traditional offline therapy where you can be waiting weeks to months to get in to see someone.
You can log in anytime to message your therapist and you will get timely and thoughtful responses, and you can also schedule weekly video calls or phone calls.
BetterHelp is also committed to making sure that you truly match with your therapist so you can change at any time if you need to.
It's more affordable than offline therapy and financial aid is available.
Check out the link in our description and join BetterHelp today. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/gaywomen.
If you click the link in our description, you can get 10% off your first month.
All right, we got our worst lesbian couples. You know what? This was a pretty easy list to come up with. We had more, but these are, we think, the worst of the worst.
The best of the worst.
The best of the worst of the best. Some of them we like, and we wanted them to be together, but they're just not good for each other.
No.
So we're gonna start off with one of my favorite movies, and I really like this couple, but they got to go, and that's Charlotte and Mary Anning from Ammonite.
Their relationship was just doing it in rocks.
Did they have anything else in common?
Did it get deeper than that?
The jealousy at the concert that they went to?
Yeah.
They had jealous sex. That's basically what they were doing.
And then by the end, Mary Anning felt like she was just put in a cage like a bird and she wanted to be free.
What could have been a better relationship for Mary Anning is probably her ex, which is never a good idea to get back with your ex, but
sometimes it is.
Elizabeth Philpott ran her own business, closer in age, bombshell of a woman, and had the same tough, sturdy exterior.
And Ammonite didn't end in the same way that Carol ended. They do look at each other from across the room, but in Ammonite I just get the sense that they're not going to get together again.
Some people think they are though, right? It was ambiguous. Some people were like, no, it meant that they were going to get together. And I was like, they're all dressed in black like a funeral. I don't think they're getting together.
Nobody was smirking like Carol.
No one was smirking. It was solemn looks only.
Yeah.
That's a couple that shouldn't be together, I think. If you can't be happy when you see the person you love most, you probably shouldn't be in that relationship.
Do you know what the ending of Ammonite is? Toxic exes. Maybe they'll get back together, but it's maybe not a good idea.
Not a good idea. That's true. This next couple, I think, is going to be very controversial because I think a lot of people love this couple. And then maybe a lot of people hate this couple. But then I have many thoughts. And that is Bette and Tina from the L Word / Gen Q.
The L Word has made them the greatest couple on the show.
I especially think in Gen Q that they are absolutely horrible for each other. If Gen Q wants you to root for them, they're doing the complete opposite. I'm like, you guys are in your 50s. Get your shit together and stop being so toxic to each other. Stop ruining each other's relationships and happiness. When you do destroy the other person's relationship, be like, I found someone else. What mind games are you playing at your age?
Say it, age.
It was maybe okay when you were 30, still a little too old, and now it's just ridiculous.
And their whole relationship begins with Bette cheating on Tina with their house carpenter. So how they became this pillar of the L Word.
Their whole relationship
couple
is one of them is cheating with someone either together or apart. You can still root for them, but also realize that they're not actually good together. Because I'm like, yeah, I want to see them together. They're Bette and Tina, but I'm like, they're absolutely terrible together. They are not relationship goals. You do not want a relationship like that.
No.
It's the ex you can't get over, and you're like, I know she's bad for me, but every time I see her, I just want to be with her. Okay.
Top worst couple.
It's Harper and Abby from Happiest season. Look, I loved Happiest season, okay?
Love it.
And I also can completely understand everything that Harper did to Abby, but it doesn't make them a good couple. I think it's still relatable, and I also get that we want to see different stories being told. But you can't hate the movie for someone else telling about their experience.
But you can also accept that they are one of the worst couples.
1000%. Especially when Abby and Riley were clearly the best couple and should have been together.
Maybe people wouldn't hate on the movie so hard if Riley was not a character.
Yeah, I feel like with them, I just think that maybe Harper put Abby through too much trauma to then in the end be like, sorry.
It wasn't just Harper's family that was shitty. It was Harper that was the shitty one.
The family was only a D-bag for a hot second, and they got over it pretty quick. Okay, this is one of the couples where I'm like, I don't care. I want them to be together, even though they are the worst couple of all time. Doesn't matter. I want them to be together. And that's Villanelle and Eve.
Oh, killing Eve.
This final season's coming out. Let them be together.
Even if they're together just for a hot second, one episode.
I don't care if they both kill each other. Just let them be together. And that's why they're the number one toxic couple, because both have tried to kill each other.
Every season try to kill each other, and it's just so hot.
I feel like they'll both die, though, this season. The show is called Killing Eve, so I think Eve will die. And I think Villanelle will die as well.
Because it's like Romeo and Juliet.
100%. They'll either kill each other or kill themselves. I don't know. Something's going down. Someone's going to die. A little more cat and mouse chase, then get together, then die.
Then die. That's
all I want.
How perfect. They're my favorite worst couple.
They are.
I am obsessed with them. I love that show.
Our next worst couple list is also maybe a couple that you're like, oh, I want to see them together, but they're not good together. There's a lot of them on this list.
Yeah.
And that's Tony and Shelby from The Wilds. Just because you land on a deserted island and it's the only other lesbian on the island doesn't really mean you should be together.
It's someone you totally don't get along with. You, dare I say, hate.
If you push them off a cliff, you probably should not be together. I don't care what little journey you went on in 3 days.
Yeah. Maybe you found some fruit and it, like, made you soft for a moment, but...
Shelby was better with her best friend, who was very religious and supportive of her, than Tony. This is a last resort romance. Understand you will date them, and by all means, go ahead. It just doesn't mean this is the one for you. It's the worst of the worst. We're saving it for last.
The last and the least.
That is Sophie from Generation Q. And everyone. Not only everyone on Generation Q, but even you yourself. You would be terrible with Sophie. And that's because Sophie is so toxic.
That everyone she dates,
she brings down to her level.
A toxic environment.
Finley, who I do not like at all, but has spiraled into such an alcoholic depression because she finally got together with Sophie.
And then Danny, as soon as she broke up with Sophie, runs a company. Buys a multi-million-dollar apartment.
Gets together with Gigi. Sophie is the drama.
And sometimes you shouldn't be in a relationship when you have to, like, work on yourself. Leave a comment what you think about these couples. Were we right? We're right, but you can tell us.
We're 100% right.
Are they
you
the
can still
worst?
love them, but they're the worst.
If you guys didn't see our top lesbian couples in movies and TV shows,
watch that
head
first.
on over to that video. There's no order.
Watch whatever you want when you want to watch it.
Thank you guys for watching Pillow Talk Monday.
And we'll see you next Monday. Goodbye.